Hey guys. Okay, so good morning. This is Megan Gump coming at you live on YouTube on the Project Nourish podcast. So this morning, I just wanted to take a quick second. Let me see if I can make myself better for you guys. Okay. Anyway, so I wanted to come at you real quick with some breakfast ideas. So, a lot of the times when I'm working with my clients, they always struggle with breakfast. It's always like, the standard American breakfast is, think about it. It's like your cereals, your toast, your donuts, your cannolis, just typical kind of easy grab and go stuff that people are like, oh, this is breakfast. But really, like the standard American breakfast here in America has almost turned into like dessert. People are eating so much sugar at breakfast that it is causing an epidemic in blood sugar dysregulation, which can lead to diabetes, cardiovascular disease. I mean, it's a huge issue. So I just wanted to hop on here really quickly, you guys, and give you some breakfast ideas because breakfast does not have to be breakfast. People tend to think, oh, breakfast, all right, I got to make eggs or bacon or sausage or toast or whatever it might be, which is great, with some fruit on the side or whatever. But you really want to set your day and set your body up for the day at a really good place for breakfast with, good amounts of protein, lots and lots of vegetables, good healthy fat. That is what is going to fuel your brain, fuel your body for the day so that it can function as optimally as it can, the best that it will, should I say. So, okay, real quick, and I'm going to go over some smoothie recipes that I love. And these are quick, right? These are for people that like have to grab and go, don't have time to really make a full-on breakfast. So I've got some notes here, so you'll see me kind of looking over. But a sweet potato smoothie. Okay, so that's the first thing I wanted to go over. So with this in mind, like I said, breakfast does not have to be breakfast. I really want to try to get people to understand that it doesn't have to be, the standard kind of quo of what we all consider breakfast to be. Breakfast can literally be a salad with chicken if you wake up in the morning and that is what your body is craving. Go for it. So here's just some quick little smoothie recipes that I wanted to give you guys as tips. Okay, so sweet potato smoothie is probably one of my favorites. Now, I tend to use this like after I work out in the morning. That way, I'm getting some really good carbohydrates, so a really good energy source after I work out that is fueling my muscles, fueling my brain, fueling my heart. And then, so here's the recipe. So it's a half of medium sweet potato. So what I do is I roast sweet potatoes in the oven on 425 for like an hour until they are basically oozing like their natural sugars and it's almost caramelizing. They're really good that way, obviously. And then I let them cool to room temperature. That way they become more of like a non-starchy or like they're still starchy, a resistant starch vegetable. And so I take half of one of those, I put it in a blender. I do a teaspoon of vanilla, a dash of cinnamon, dash of nutmeg, or you could do a dash of like pumpkin spice. It's pretty much the mix of what it is. And then 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, and then 2 scoops of this Vital Proteins collagen peptides. So this stuff is freaking amazing. This is actually their dark chocolate and blackberry one, which I love. It tastes like chocolate, but a lot of you guys, if you use collagen peptides, are used to this like original unflavored version. So I'm using that was my computer stand, which is why it went wiggly. But I use both, but I really like this one because it gives it like a chocolatey flavor. So both is great. And basically what collagen peptides are. So collagen peptides are the protein structure that is found most in our bodies. So beyond it being really great for like hair, skin, and nails, it's also actually really gut healing. So basically going in and kind of like the spackling on the wall, sealing up any holes. So in our gut, we eat gluten. We're exposed to harmful, toxic chemicals and ingredients and pesticides and sometimes unfiltered water, if you're drinking tap water. And those basically irritants or chemicals go in and cause kind of like a quote unquote leaky gut or, permeable barrier in our gut lining. So this guy helps with that. He comes in and he wants to kind of fix that permeability a little bit, seal it up. So I like eating or taking collagen peptides every day. Yeah, you can make these smoothie recipes with it. You can also cook with it. You can make cookies. You can make collagen gummies, like little gummy bears. They're really good. Obviously, with just like some collagen and gelatin and natural ingredients, no artificial sugars or flavors or sweeteners. But so, anyways, Vital Proteins, Collagen Peptides. If you go to my website, megangump.com, I actually have the link on there. So if you're confused about like where to find them or what it looks like, just go to my website and check it out there. So that's that. So you put that in with the half a sweet potato, the basically like pumpkin spice mix, a little bit of vanilla, chia seeds. And then I also do 1/3 of a cup of White Mountain organic Bulgarian yogurt. So this is a company out of Austin, and they ferment their yogurt for 24 hours. So it is a fermented, cultured yogurt. It's really good. It's high in pre and probiotics, a bunch of enzymes, just a lot of other really gut loving stuff. And then same thing, or you could use, if you don't want to do like a dairy base, you could use GT's Cocoa Yo. So that's also a fermented coconut yogurt that's really good, full of all that good stuff, pre and probiotics, enzymes, really also gut loving. So yogurt and then a little bit of splash of water just to kind of thin it out because you've got the sweet potato in there that's thick, you got the yogurt that's in there that's thick, and then basically just blend everything together and voila. If you guys want the recipe, just let me know and I can comment it below so you can see it. Okay, next up is our nutty chocolate smoothie. So this is for all you chocolate lovers out there that wake up and want candy already or some chocolate. You're thinking about dessert for later in the day already. This one's for you because it's actually healthful, it's nutritious, and delicious. So this recipe is 2 scoops of this dark chocolate blackberry one specifically. 1 tablespoon of raw cacao. So raw cacao is natural from a plant, right? So it's from the cacao plant. So it doesn't contain sugar. You don't think of like, a Hershey's chocolate bar or the cacao that they put in that, the cocoa that they put in that. It's different. So cacao is from the plant. And then you can do a tablespoon of nut butter. Hi, Neebs. Kitty cat. You can do a tablespoon of nut butter. So if you want to do almond butter, cashew butter, whatever it is, I don't really recommend peanut butter just because peanuts tend to be, one, highly genetically modified foods, and they also contain a lot of lectins that can cause inflammation and issues in people. So that's why so many kids nowadays and even adults are actually severely allergic to peanuts because peanuts are just not what they used to be, right? They've been kind of tampered and messed with. So I just tend to kind of not recommend peanut butter, but if it works for you, just make sure you're getting an organic source that is like peanuts and salt on the ingredient label, and that's it. No added fillers or anything else. So you've got your nut butter and then chia seeds again. I love chia seeds. It's just a healthy source of omega fats, essential fatty acids. And then also again with the yogurt, just to thicken it up. I really like putting yogurt in my smoothies. So, and then a little bit of water, just if you want to kind of make it a little bit thinner. And then you blend everything. So that one is just your 2 scoops of Vital Proteins, dark chocolate, collagen peptides, 1 tablespoon of cacao, 1 tablespoon of nut butter, 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, and your yogurt and your water, and you blend it. And that's it. So that's super good. And then the green smoothie, which is actually one that I really prefer. So I don't do that chocolate one very often just because it's obviously a lot of fat with the nut butters, but it's really good. But so this green smoothie is kind of my favorite way to wake up because you also got to keep in mind, when you wake up and you first eat breakfast, that is the first thing that your body is being introduced to for the last, 8, 12, 14, 16 hours, depending on how long you're going from your last meal before bed to when you wake up. So I really just think that it is so important for people to eat a well-balanced whole foods breakfast in the morning, giving their body a lot of plant foods. That way they can get the enzymes, the vitamins, the minerals, the nutrients, just to really kind of kick everything, start up the digestive system and get going for the day, and really just get the nutrients that it needs to do its to function for that day, right? So this green smoothie is a cup of power greens. So like your mixed. So power greens being like spinach, kale. I just tried to mix those two words. Spinach, kale, chard, arugula, and other greens of choice. But so a lot of people tend to do just spinach in their smoothies. Spinach is a really, really high oxalate food, and it's really hard for us to actually absorb the calcium availability that is in spinach. So don't always do just spinach all the time. I'm not saying don't eat it. I'm just saying switch it up. So do like your power greens, do arugula, romaine lettuce, kale, chard, do all the weird ones that you don't do very often, because also switching up your vegetables is actually super, super, super beneficial for your gut microbiome. So all of those bacteria that thrive and live in our gut, they are meant by design to eat foods in season. So local to your region as well. So, someone in Florida is not going to have the same vegetables available to them as someone in, Washington or Minnesota. And so California, Colorado. So you want to eat as local to your region as possible and when things are in season. So kind of, rotate with the seasons on what you eat. So for example, if someone goes to the grocery store and they're just eating like broccoli and asparagus and green beans and cauliflower all the time, and like that is like kind of what their meal prep vegetables are like every single week, your gut microbiome is actually going to be less diverse because it's going to adapt to just living off of those certain foods versus someone that's eating turnips and radishes and everything I mentioned that other person was eating and more, with all these different lettuces and just whatever's in season that they can get their hands on. The cabbages, the oh gosh, I bought something the other day called rutabaga, and I had never even heard of that before. So it's kind of just like going to the grocery store, seeing things you have no idea what it is, and buying it, and just go home and cook it. Throw it in your smoothie maybe or not. uh, Roast it, steam it, saute it. It'll probably be delicious. But just giving your gut microbiome that diversity, those gut bugs are actually going to be much more diverse. And also, when your gut microbiome is much more diverse, basically what it does with your food is the diversity can utilize more calories than someone that has a less diverse microbiome. So, for example, someone that's eating broccoli all the time has a less diverse microbiome, and they're actually going to store more calories from just getting broccoli all the time than a diverse microbiome that they're getting all kinds of different fruits and vegetables, and that microbiome is actually going to utilize those calories and turn it into energy and not have as much to store, because it's like, oh, all these guys over here are working on this vegetable and all these guys over here are working on this vegetable. And so that's why you really want to keep it diverse so that your body can actually break down, utilize those calories, turn them into energy, and do what it needs to do. Versus a person that eats the same foods all the time, you're going to more likely store more of those calories because they see them all the time. It's like, all right, this is the same thing, just put it somewhere. We're looking for something different, but we're not getting it. So I hope that kind of makes sense. So switch up your greens. Okay, so getting back to this green smoothie here. So the green smoothie, power greens, 2 stalks of celery, half of an avocado, 1 lime juiced, and just water. And then I also do either Vital Proteins collagen whey protein powder. So this is actually going to give me just a little bit of protein. It's also got probiotics in there, hyaluronic acid, which is very hydrating for the skin. And it's also made with coconut water. So these are like straight up pure collagen peptides. This is whey protein powder. So it's a little different because it's got coconut water protein in here, or powder in here. So when you obviously add water, it hydrates all that. And I like just switching it up. And I use that one after pre and post workout. So if you guys need like a really good clean protein powder, that's the one I use. So you can do that, or you can just do the unflavored vital proteins, collagen peptides, some mint. I tend to put like 2 stems of mint in there, and then ice. I think I'm gonna have to comment all these on below. That way you guys can see them. But okay, so kind of getting back to breakfast ideas. Another favorite thing that I like to do is I make veggie egg muffins. So I will basically just cook like whatever protein I want. So it could be like a half a pound of bacon, half a pound of sausage, or it's just like 1 pound of bacon, 1 pound of sausage. I typically do a pound of meat. You could do ground beef if you wanted, or turkey. I mean, the sky's the limit here, guys. And so I'll cook all that sometimes with an onion, maybe sometimes with a jalapeno, depending on how I'm feeling, if I want it spicier or not. So I'll cook all my meat. And basically what I do is then I do like a layered casserole thing in either muffin tins or like a glass casserole dish. And so it'll be the meat that I've cooked. And then I'll chop up a large variety of vegetables. So it can be spinach or all different types of different greens, whatever I feel like using. Dandelion greens, escargot, endive, try to get kind of crazy, kale. And I chop that up. And I also do like mushrooms, tomatoes, bell peppers, oh my gosh, broccoli, asparagus, broccolini. I mean, whatever you want to do, whatever vegetables you want to do. Chop everything up, put that on the next layer in either your muffin tins or your casserole dish, and then whip up 12 eggs and put a little dash of organic almond milk and salt and pepper. Whip everything up. My boyfriend Alex does a little bit of water because it makes it thicker. So I've actually kind of started doing that too. But anyway, so mix up your 12 eggs and then pour that on top of the meat and then the vegetables and then pour the eggs on top. Bake all of that at 350. It's probably going to be about like 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Just take a toothpick and kind of poke them. You'll see when they're getting done because the top will be brown. So just check that out. And yeah, those are really, really good. And those are kind of my favorite go-tos. Another thing that I do, just to give you guys some more ideas, is I have a cast iron skillet, and I actually will take like all the most random vegetables that I have in my fridge, and I'll chop them up, and I will like skillet them for a little bit. So I'll kind of saute them. And then after they're kind of cooked, I will actually kind of move everything a little bit closer together, and then I'll crack 2 eggs on top, and I'll put a lid on. And it's not very long. I put a lid on for maybe like 3 to 5 minutes until you can tell that the egg is cooked through. Boom, that's my meal. It's really, really, really freaking good for breakfast. You can do like sweet potatoes and all kinds of stuff in that. Just make like some sort of little hash in the middle with all different kinds of vegetables, and then crack those eggs on top once everything's getting a little cooked. And voila, it's super good. Another favorite of mine is leftovers for breakfast. Literally, if I had like ground beef, grass-fed ground beef with red cabbage and cauliflower rice for dinner the night before, I will seriously wake up and eat that for breakfast. So like I said, you can have salads for breakfast. So don't get stuck on this whole breakfast has to be breakfast thing, you guys. Really kind of use the internet, use Pinterest to your advantage, and search for, paleo or Whole30 breakfast ideas, and just eat whatever you want in the morning, as long as you're focusing on, protein. So 3 to 4 ounces of protein. It can be 2 to 3 eggs. It can be chicken. It can be fish. It can be whatever protein. Your vegetables. So you want to aim for 2 cups of vegetables at every single meal. So your broccoli, your cabbage, your Brussels sprouts, your cauliflowers, your all kinds of beets and carrots, and just keep it random and in season as much as you can. And then a healthy fat. So healthy fats are definitely going to keep you full. So that's, your eggs, the egg yolks, definitely eat the yolks. Putting butter on top of your cooked meal, using olive oil after you're done. Don't cook with olive oil because you don't want to heat it up. Use coconut oil or high heat avocado oil. And yeah, I mean, just kind of focus on those 3 things. Now, if you're working out in the morning, take out the healthy fat and swap in a starchier carbohydrate. So a sweet potato, a plantain, rice, quinoa, lentils, some non-gluten grain. And you've got yourself a really well-balanced meal. So I hope this helps for anyone out there looking for breakfast ideas. I know it was kind of a lot and I was all over the place. I'll post the recipes below. That way you can see them. And if there's anything else that you guys want to get recommendations for, just shoot me a comment and let me know. Again, my name is Megan Gump, a nutritional therapy practitioner and also the co-host for Project Nourish podcast. So go check out our podcast if you haven't. It is freaking awesome. And if you're also interested in working with a nutritional therapy practitioner, you can actually book a free 15-minute consultation with me where we'll just hop on the phone and kind of talk about, what's going on and the services that I offer and see if we could be a good fit. So megangump.com to book that free 15-minute consultation. All right, guys, happy Friday. Have a great day.